So, we're back up here at the spot that my channel started. My very first video that I ever filmed was filmed at this location. And I drove a full-size Chevrolet extended cab short bed truck in here. And that's the very first video on the channel. And then the last time I was here is a video where I'm cooking, or my buddy's cooking, ribs in a Dutch oven in the rain. Both of those videos are still on the channel. They didn't get very many views. I think they're pretty good videos. The video quality is not great, the audio is not great, but it's the origin point. Channels evolve and get better. So anyway, somebody, and by somebody I mean the local authority, decided that people shouldn't be able to drive down here on the public land that we pay money for to access and use. We're not allowed to access this area for whatever reason. Never really was clear to me why, but they cut down a massive oak tree, probably 3-foot diameter tree that was perfectly healthy, and threw it across the entrance to this camp. And apparently somebody else didn't find that agreeable, so they cut it up and pulled it out of the way, and now you can only get down here in a Jeep-sized vehicle. So it's a little sketch coming in because the tree's in the way. It's off camber a little bit. It'd be real easy to slide over into it. The clip you're going to see of me coming down this far to the camp, you'll see the Jeep kind of picks up, slings over towards a tree. And it's because I'm trying to avoid that mud hole, because that mud hole is the very mud hole that I got stuck in my 1949 Willys truck. And that video is called I Got My Willys Stuck in a Dirty Hole. All right. And I think that's a pretty decent video. But that's that mud hole. So I know it's kind of crappy, deep, and just not agreeable. And I don't feel like tearing up the CJ5 right now. I'm not in the mood for it. So I'm trying to get around the corner of that. And you got to drop off in the hole a little bit to get around a tree. I'm going to film the departure of it and the final departure out of the actual trail that leads to this camp. So this is really all the talking I'm going to do. It's just kind of explanation of the significance of this camp, because this is my favorite one. We call it Dutch Oven Camp because of that first video. I'm using a small Dutch oven, and we're cooking over the fire. And the creek horseshoes around us, so it's really nice. People can't approach you from any side. You got mountain to the left of you, kind of a draw over this way, and the creek surrounds you, and they can only come in this one trail, and you got to have a fairly capable rig to do it. So it's a nice spot. You're kind of secluded. The road is up above you on this ridge line, but like I say, only a Jeep-sized vehicle can get down in here, and most of the people that drive around here are mall crawlers, so you don't really have to worry about them actually using the Jeep for anything. So it's a nice spot. There's not a lot of trash or anything like that you kind of see around on these Forest Service roads and stuff. There's always beer bottles and crap like that, and it's just a really nice, peaceful camp, and we haven't been here in quite a while. So, yeah, Dutch Oven Camp. Go watch those videos if you haven't seen them. The very first video I ever did, and then the one, it's Dutch Oven Ribs in the Rain or something, I think it's called. But anyway, CJ5's here. And by the way, the video that I'll post prior to this video is where I'm broken down on the trail, and you'll see why I come to the conclusions I do in that video when I post it. But regardless, I did get an extra module and a new coil and a carburetor kit for the CJ5 that stays in the CJ5, and I even bought a belt, because the belt that I'm running right now is pretty shoddy. It's not looking too good. So I went ahead and bought a belt so that if my belt breaks, I can go ahead and change it on the trail. I brought a carb kit because if I have to take the carb apart and something's broke or damaged or whatever, I've got the full kit and the gaskets, O-rings, jets, all of it. Accelerator pump, got that in the Jeep. New coil, new module. Now, I drove this Jeep from when I first paid attention to it. It was 63 miles to where we currently are. Then I was trying to find a gas station. I drove an additional probably 12 miles, 10, 12 miles. And I started with a full tank of gas, which is 10 gallons. I burned less than 5 gallons driving this Jeep up here. So I probably drove it about 75 miles, 70 to 75 miles, and I burned about 4.5 gallons of fuel. And I just feel like that should be acknowledged. Okay, I just feel like that's pretty intense. It gets dramatically better gas mileage than my GMC does. With all its wonderful emissions, it does dramatically better. And coincidentally, it gave no problems at any point on the way up here. No sputtering, no anything like that. Ran amazing. So I'm not going to change the module or the coil until I feel like I need to. And I'm not changing it right now because it's running fine. And so I've got those spare parts. So if you're watching John Doe, which I know you figure out you are, I do have a new gasket with me at all times in the Jeep now. So if I have to separate the carb, I can put a new gasket on it. I got all this off the shelf, by the way, at Napa. Okay, Napa is the only place I know that I can go in a hurry that has the parts for this Jeep on the shelf, and Napa just keeps coming in clutch. So I'm very pleased with that. Napa's doing a good job. They've redeemed themselves from the video called Napa Woes. All right, they've redeemed themselves. But anyway, I am the Reckless Traveler. We're going to film some more stuff of me driving around and all that stuff. And just kind of a light-duty tootling around video. And I enjoyed talking to you yesterday, by the way, John Doe. Talked to John Doe. A lot of y'all that are on the channel have seen him on the comment section. Talked to him for 3 hours about all kinds of Jeep stuff. He's very pleasant. There's a guy riding by on a motorcycle up there. Very pleasant. Enjoyed it. Got a lot of good information. It certainly won't be the last time we talk. Brittany wasn't too mad that I delayed going to dinner with her. She was a little mad, but she said she was glad that I was talking to you, and she's glad that we got to finally talk on the phone. So, anyway, we're gonna go drive around a little bit and then head home. So until next time, enjoy the mountainous content of the CJ5 getting it done. Yeah, buddy.